Hi, Heidi Dean here, and this is your Instagram and Instagram story tutorial. If you're new here, this video is very different from the rest of my videos on my channel. I started to hear questions like, should I be on Instagram? Is Instagram important? How do I get set up on Instagram? How do I even use Instagram stories? So I knew it was important to mix things up a little bit and create this video. This video is a deep dive 25-minute training so you know how to get signed up and set up, and you know how to push every single little button on Instagram and Instagram stories. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's dive right in. So if you are brand new to Instagram, obviously the first step is to get you signed up. You can sign up at Instagram.com or simply download the app on the App Store. The first thing they're going to have you do is set up your basic settings. You're going to need to add a profile photo. For right now, just add a headshot that you're using on your other profiles. Then you need to choose a username and try to choose one that you're using on your other social media platforms. Under that, you need to add some sort of link. This will be your website, your IMDb, or another social network. And then you need to add a bio. I'll make sure I link to another video that will help you with your Instagram bio. And lastly, you'll add your email and your phone number. So there you go, you're all set up. Now, even though Instagram has gotten much more complicated the last 2 years, I really do think it's the simplest platform to learn because it basically comes down to 5 simple buttons: Home, Explore, your Post, your Notifications tab, and your Profile. Let's start with the first one, the Home button. Now this is where you're going to see the post for all of the accounts you're following. Now this is your news feed. It's very similar to the news feed on Facebook and Twitter, but a little less cluttered. You'll also see your Insta Stories at the top, and I'm going to dive into Insta Stories 101 a little bit later in this training, so stick around. Now to the right of Home is the Explore tab. When you click into it, you're going to see that it has 3 distinct sections. At the top, we have our search bar where you, of course, can search for anything on Instagram. Next, we have our categories, and there are categories on style, TV and movies, art, animals, travel, and you'll see more as you swipe left here. And lastly, we have videos and posts. Now, if you don't like the videos and posts that you're seeing here, all you have to do is swipe down on the screen, and Instagram will curate a whole new set of videos and posts for you. Keep in mind what shows up here is really based on your habits, the accounts you follow, the accounts you like, and the accounts you comment on. So obviously, if you don't like what you're seeing here, then you might want to start following and liking some different accounts and posts. Within the Explore tab, there's that search bar at the top of the page, right? And with that search bar, you're going to get 4 options. First, you're going to get the option to search the top accounts. These are the top accounts that you're engaging with and that Instagram is suggesting for you. Next, we can explore people, and we can really use the search bar to search for anyone or anything. If I were to type in the word actor here, then anyone with actor in their username or name would pop up here. Next, hashtag searches. I typed actors here, and of course, any hashtag that had the word actors in it would pop up here. You can use this tab for your hashtag research, or use it to find conversations for things that are important to you. The next tab is Places. Now with this, we can do a location search for any posts or stories that were geotagged in a specific location. Typing in New York, I'm going to get all sorts of locations in New York, and when I click into it, I can see posts from all different Instagram users from that location. I love this when I'm traveling because I can type in something like coffee shops in Miami or coffee shops near me. I can actually find cool places to go in this search here. So that is the Explore tab. Let's go back to those 5 main buttons. Right now, we are going to look at the one in the center. This is your posting button. This is where we create our post, and it starts to get super exciting. Now, I can quickly choose a photo that's already on my camera roll right in the library here at the bottom, or I can choose to shoot a photo or a video up to 60 seconds right in the Instagram app. Now let's click on one of these posts just to see what we can do with it. Let's choose this one. I want you to look right here in the center. Now we did choose this one photo, but we do have a few more options if we wanted to go a slightly different way, and they're right here in the center. The one that looks like an infinity symbol is a boomerang, which is kind of a 2-second GIF. You've seen them, they're super catchy in the feed. Next, the thing that looks like a little collage, that is exactly what it is. You can make a collage by combining multiple photos, and you do this by using an app called Layout, which is built right into Instagram. And lastly, if you hit that button that says Select Multiple, you will be able to share up to 10 photos and videos in one post. I love this feature, especially for actors and artists. It's a great way to give your fans a backstage pass, maybe do a day in the life on set or backstage without uploading 10 separate photos to the feed. You can tell a compact little story in one post. Before we move on, there is one other button on this page, and it kind of looks like a little frame. If you hit this button, this will allow you to post a photo that may not be a square, and this will allow you to change it to a rectangle. Pretty cool, right? So the first step, we just did it. We chose our photo. We hit next. Next, we can decide on a filter for our photo. All you have to do is hit that button that says filter. And if we hit the edit button at the bottom, we can also edit our photo as well right in the Instagram app. Next, now it's time to write our caption, tag anybody that might be in the photo, add a location if appropriate, and decide if we're going to push this post to one of our other platforms. To tag someone in a photo is super easy. You just hit tag people, then just tap your photo to tag people and look up the users that you want to tag. Now make sure you make it a habit to tag people who are actually in your photo or who may really like your photo. Don't just use it as a tactic to try to get on someone's radar. It's not always well received. When you're done tagging the people in the photo, you can hit done. Then you're back here and you're ready to share this post to the feed. Next, let's go across those buttons at the bottom to notifications. Your notifications tab is that little heart down at the bottom where it's going to tell you when people show you some love. Now, when you have a notification, there'll be a little red dot under the heart. Plus, they'll give you stats, like how many likes, comments, and follows you've had since you've last checked in. Now, when you click into your notifications tab, here's what you see. Now, when you look at the You tab, this is all about your account. You're going to find out who liked your photo, who followed you, who commented. And when you scroll a little further down in the feed, they're going to give you suggestions for people who you might want to follow. Now, if we click on following, we are going to see how the people you're following are engaging. We're going to see what they're liking, what they're commenting. This may help you find more like-minded conversations to join. Now, I'm going to give you some resources in just a little bit to help you grow your following on Instagram. And as you do, this You tab is going to move quickly. If you're putting out quality content, you are going to get tons of notifications here. So I do suggest that the notifications tab is one that you visit quite often. So you'll receive a notification when somebody likes your post, when somebody follows you, when they leave a comment on your post, when someone tags you in a post, when someone mentions you in a post, someone mentions you in their story, or when you have unread direct messages. Now, if you're brand new and some of these sound a little foreign, don't worry. You'll start getting to know what all these things are as you get into the app and you really start trying things out. Let's move to the Profile tab. It's that little icon at the very bottom of the screen. Now here's where you're going to see everything we set up in the beginning, your bio, your username, your website link, your location. You'll also see your follower count. And then right here, you'll see your Instagram story highlights. And if you've uploaded any videos to IGTV, they will be there as well. Now, if we scroll a little bit down the page and you look right above your post, you're going to see 3 different views for when we're looking at our profile. We can do grid view, which is what we're looking at right now. It looks like a grid or a quilt. If we go to this tab right here, we're going to see the feed view. Just like the feed we see of everybody else's post, except this is just a feed of your post. And lastly, here's where you'll find all your tagged posts. This is where you'll be able to see all the photos that you have been tagged in by other accounts. Now, if we tap these three little lines here, a little menu is going to pop out. Here's where you can check your activity and see how long you've been on the platform. Create a little name tag so you can help spread the word about your Instagram. Here's where you can also save posts, which is one of my favorite new features on Instagram. The save post looks like a little bookmark. So if you have any post, yours or someone else's, and you want to save it in a nice organized place, all you have to do is right underneath the post, hit that little bookmark, and it's going to be saved here where it says saved. I love using this as a little inspiration station, saving posts that will inspire me to create really awesome posts of my own. Under Save Post, you'll see Close Friends. Instagram created this because some Instagram stories aren't for everybody. Maybe they're just for our close friends and family. So what we can do is we can create a close friends list and selectively send some of our Instagram stories just to this list. If you click on close friends here, you can decide who is on this list. Next, we can discover people. This is great to add more people to our tribe. And if you have an Instagram business account, you will actually see at the very top of this list, Insights. Audience Insights is a fantastic place for you to see who your followers are, the best times to post for them, whether they're male or female, where they're located, as well as awesome insights on each one of your posts. I love insights because I'm able to go in and see what my followers are really responding to, what hashtags are really working, so I can adjust my strategy accordingly. Like I said, this is only available on Instagram business account. If you're wondering whether or not you should make the switch as an actor, I will link to another video that helps you make this decision. And down here at the bottom, you're gonna have more detailed settings. As with everything in this training, the way you're going to learn is to really hop in the app and try everything out that I'm talking about, and settings is one of those things. When you click into your settings, you're going to be able to connect your contacts. You're going to be able to change your password, mute accounts. You can switch to a business account. We are not going to go through all these settings individually, but I do invite you to hop in here, take a look around, and see what settings might apply to you. One more thing I want to talk about before we hop into Insta Stories are your direct messages. A direct message is a private message sent between two people or up to 32 people, at least at the time of this recording. To access your direct messages when you are looking at your feed, just hit that paper airplane at the top of the page, and you'll be taken directly to your direct messages. This is very similar to direct messages on other social networks. One thing I do want to point out is that from time to time, you're going to want to check out your request here. Requests are from people who you don't follow. It's kind of like that other inbox on Facebook that we rarely ever check. But it's a good thing to check, especially as an actor, in case someone is trying to contact you and you don't actually follow them yet. Now, if you have an Instagram business account, you actually get a couple more cool features here. If you tap on search there, you can organize your inbox and you can see if you have any unread messages or saved messages. So if I was having a conversation with Marcus here, but I didn't have a chance to write him back, I would just hit that flag and this would go to my starred or flagged messages. So I could easily answer later on. But like I said, this feature in direct messages is only available to a business account, at least for right now. Hey, Heidi here. I am back. That is basically all the things you need to know about your grid and your feed to get started. Before we move on to Instagram stories, I just want to check in with you. I want to see how you're doing, how you're feeling, and if you're getting value from this video. And if you are, please give me a like or a little thumbs up in the comments so I know. Awesome. Let's dive right in to Instagram stories. So what are Instagram stories? Instagram stories are a series of short photos and videos that are separate from your Instagram feed that can be viewed for just 24 hours. If you've used Snapchat before, they are very similar to Snapchat. And just like Snapchat, there is this fear of missing out since they disappear after 24 hours. So this causes engagement on stories to be pretty high. Now to access stories, you can hit the plus right there where it says your story. If you want to watch other people's stories at the top of your feed, you can either just start with the first story there and they're just going to play in order, or you can selectively choose what stories you want to view by clicking on them individually. To create a story, there are so many awesome options, and I'm going to walk you through some of them right now. So what I've done is I've clicked the plus by my name where it says your story. I've opened up stories. I'm looking at a beach right now for this tutorial. Now, if I didn't want to snap a photo or a video right away, that little photo right there is the last photo on my camera roll. I can also click into my camera roll and choose a photo and upload it automatically. Now, if you choose a photo that is older than 24 hours, it will have a little time stamp on it. But all you have to do to get rid of it is drag that timestamp right in the trash on the screen. So no one will know if that photo was taken today or 2 months ago. Pretty cool, right? Next, as we move over, this is the Thunderbolt. It is the flash button, just like you'd have on your phone or a camera. In the center here, this is where all the magic happens. We're in normal mode right now, which is what happens when you first go into stories. I could either tap this right now to take the photo of the beach or hold it down for up to 15 seconds to take a video of the beach here. Next, just like on your phone, you can decide whether you want the rear-facing or forward-facing camera. So we can decide beach or Heidi right now. We'll go for beach. And this little smiley face here, these are your face filters. You've probably seen these before. These are an exact replica of the Snapchat lenses. This is where you can add dog ears, hearts, glasses, and all sorts of stuff to your face to jazz up your story even more. I want you to look down here at the bottom. I'm just going to walk you through some of these features so you know how they work. The first one is type, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If you hit it, you can type any text, and your story can simply be the text with a colored background. The next one over is music. If you want to add any music to your stories, that's where you would do it. Then we've got live. This is where you would go live on Instagram for up to 1 hour. You can use face filters here, as you can see. You can also decide whether or not when you're live, if we are seeing what you're seeing or if we're seeing you. And this is very much like Facebook Live, where you can interact with your community live on Instagram. Now, if you don't like what you did when you went live, you can delete it right after you're finished, or it will be live for 24 hours and your followers will be able to view it in the stories feed. And the great thing about going live is you show up at the front of the stories feed, so it's a great way to get noticed by your followers. Now, if we keep going across this bar at the bottom, you're going to see normal, which we already talked about. That's just your basic photo or video. And then you'll see boomerang. Now, we already talked about boomerangs when we talked about your regular Instagram post. Boomerang is that quick 2-second GIF that is catchy in your feed and very catchy in your stories. Now, the best way to learn how to use these guys is to really truly try them out, especially the next one here, which is Super Zoom. If you have not tried the Super Zoom features, you are missing out. There are all types of Super Zooms now. It is great for adding drama and suspense to your stories. Next, we have focus. To use focus, you need to find a face, because what it's going to do, it is going to focus in on a face in your story, and it's going to blur out the background. Next, you can see we have the rewind feature. If you record your video in the rewind mode, it will play them in reverse for your stories. And the last option here is hands-free, and it's exactly what it sounds like. All you have to do is tap the button when it's on hands-free, and you can take that 15-second video without the use of your hands. Now, once you have snapped that photo or video, now our editing options are right up top here. Now, Instagram likes to change these around, sometimes move them around the screen. So if you're not seeing exactly what I'm talking about, just look a little to the left or right, and you're probably going to see it. So the first option is to add music. The second option that looks like a download is an option to save your story. This is great if you're doing a multi-part story. You might want to have all the parts of the story completed before you upload them. The third one is that face filters option. Again, this is great because if you uploaded a picture from your camera roll with a face, you can actually add face filters after the fact to that face. Now, the fourth one over, for some of you, will be that little link. This is the ability to add a link to your IGTV video or a web link. So we can actually link in stories to an outside page on the internet. Now, if you're saying, Heidi, I don't have this option, it's because, at least for right now, it's only available to accounts that have more than 10,000 followers or verified accounts. But don't worry, like I said, I'm going to give you some resources to grow your following so that you can get to this number really pretty fast. So that is the link option. So the next three tools are going to be your stickers. That's the little emoji that looks like a sticker is being pulled back. Then you'll have your pen options or your drawing options. And the letters all the way to the right are your text tools. We're going to dive into those three editing options right now. So if I click on the stickers option at the top, I'm going to see something just like this. And we've got our search bar at top where you can search for any type of stickers by keyword, but you'll also find your location stickers here. You can find your mention sticker, which is fantastic for giving people shout outs. We have hashtag stickers here, just like using hashtags in the feed. You can use the hashtag sticker, which can help you show up in search for hashtags that you're using in your stories. One of my favorites are the GIF stickers. It looks like just GI because that is when I took the screenshot, but it does say GIF or GIF, however you like to say it. We can add music to our stories. We can add the date. We could do polls, ask questions, add a countdown to create urgency in our stories. The stickers tab is where you can add all the bells and whistles and really create some engaging, fun stories. So those are your sticker options. Next, let's talk about that drawing tool. Here's where you'll find your pens. You actually get 3 pen options and an eraser tool. All you have to do at the bottom of the page is click on the color you want to use. I just chose white. If you just want to use the basic color, you just choose the pen on the left. The one in the middle is actually a little transparent. The third one over is your neon or fluorescent pen. And the last one is that eraser tool. Now you can kind of see on the left there is a slider. You can play with the thickness of your pen by moving that slider up. And if you want your pen to be thinner, you move it on down. Now, if you're not happy with just the basic colors along the bottom, all you have to do is hold your finger down on one of the colors there, and the whole color spectrum will come up and you'll have plenty of colors to choose from. Now, one thing I like to do with the eraser tool is I like to choose a color and hold my finger down on the screen until the entire screen is that color. So this would have been choosing blue, holding my finger down on the screen, and the whole screen would have turned blue. And then I just take that eraser tool and you can see I drew a little heart to kind of do a little reveal of what's behind the color here. So you just add the color overlay and then use the eraser tool to selectively show what you want to show. This is a great way to tease your post on your grid and send people over from stories to go check out your new Instagram post. Now, this is one of those things you are truly going to learn when you hop in the app and try it out. Next, let's look at our different text options. Now, when you hit that button with the big A and little a, your keyboard's going to show up, and you can type in any text you want. We can use the slider on the left once again to make our text big or make our text little. And Instagram gives us so many different options. You'll see at the top where it says classic. If we keep clicking this, we're going to get a bunch of different options for our text. And at the top left, you can also decide the position of your text, if you want it to be right or left justified or centered. And if we hit that little A with a box around it, we add kind of a nice little border behind our text to really make it pop in front of our pictures. Now here's an example of some of the different text options that Instagram gives us right now. We have typewriter, neon, strong, classic, modern, and you can see with strong here, I've also added one of the back borders, which really pops on the picture. Now when you've decided what you want to create, you just hit done. Now there's one more thing we can do with our stories, and that is to add filters. If you want to filter your photo, all you have to do is swipe left and you'll have tons of options for Instagram filters. The name for the filter will pop right in the center like this one does right here, Abu Dhabi, and you can choose the filter that's right for you. I will link to another one of my videos that shows you how to organize your Instagram filters so that your favorite ones are front and center every time. Now, when you're ready to go, you can just hit send to and you'll have some options. You can also quickly decide if you want to hit your story or send it to your close friends here at the bottom. and you are good to go. Now, if you want to add a post from your grid to your stories, it is super, super simple. All you have to do is go to your post or even someone else's post and click on that paper airplane button right below the post. You'll get the option to share it to your stories, and then you can have fun with it. You can add stickers, text, you're gonna get all the editing options that we just talked about. Super simple. So there you have it. Now that you're all signed up and set up on Instagram and Instagram stories, let's start growing your following. I'm hosting a totally free 5-day Instagram challenge for actors that's gonna help you get your next 100 Instagram followers. All you have to do to join this awesome challenge is click on the link above or down below to grab your seat. I will see you in the challenge, and until then, I will see you on social.